When you're starting a story, are you starting with an outline?
I didn't always do that. I actually learned how to do that recently. One of the best creative decisions I've ever made was joining a writing group. I was in a bubble for a very long time, but it's also hard to find a writing group where everyone knows how to give notes and knows how to take notes. And so I was very lucky because what we have is very unique, and the people within that writing group understand that too. And I've gotten jobs out of this writing group. You know, we're all kind of looking out for each other. There's only 8 of us, but I was a type that would just turn in pages and say, okay, this is what and they're like, well, we don't know where the story's going. Can you just outline it for us? And I'm like, no, I don't outline. Just follow this. Give me the notes on the pages. Like, yeah, well, we can't give you notes if we don't know where the story's going. And so then I had to think about how do I do that? And I started writing, learning how to write treatment, you know, and that was great. First practice in terms of just writing a treatment makes it very easy for you to pitch your script. So there's that skill. And then outlining it, you know, when I would get lost, normally when I'm writing a script, right, I'm just going and I get to a point and I don't know where the story is going to go from there. That's normally how I would write. I'm not saying it's the right way to do it, but that's how I would do it. And then something would strike me, or I would know, okay, well over here, I know this is going to happen, so let me just start there. So there's these huge gaps in my scripts, and then I would connect those gaps. Well, now I outline my entire script, my entire story. First, I'll take those from notes. So I'll have a notebook with me everywhere I go. So it doesn't matter where I'm at, an idea will come and I'll write it down. And I'm starting to get into recording, but I'm very old school. So I start just writing down, and a page of notes in my little notebook will be about 10 pages of script. So I'll usually then, on my writing day, will translate that to those 10 pages. But now, that was the old way. Now I will outline everything. So I'll outline the entire story, and I'm able to write my scripts a lot faster because of that. Because I already know where the story is going to go, the dialogue, the characters are fleshed out, and the dialogue comes a lot easier and a lot faster. So I definitely recommend that, but you have to learn how to outline, you have to learn how to write a treatment, you have to learn how to convert your notes to those things. Me, I just started writing scripts because that's what I understood the script, right? And started writing there, but that was a very stop-start kind of way. I like to. Now it's just like a fluid, like playing a piano. You know, once the outline's done and I start the screenplay, it's like playing a piano for me.
What did the writing group teach you about giving notes?
Not to give notes in the sense that this is how I would do it. You're giving notes in terms of what's missing, what's not being communicated. Is this your intention here? Because this is what I'm getting from it. You're never coming from a place of ego either. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes you get hurt by the notes, or you feel like sometimes someone gives a bad note. You know, that happens too. But with this particular group, we've established ourselves enough where we do hurt each other on occasion, but we can recover, you know, and move on. You know, just recently, like I'm doing this screenplay and they're like, all of them were in agreement, like, kill the first act of this. Like you don't need it. And that was like, I was just so against that. I'm like, no, I'm not killing that act. And then I turned in the outline. And so when I started the script, you know, I said, I appreciate all you guys' notes, but I didn't take that one. And so the first 10 pages are this act you told me to kill. And then 2/3 of them were like, oh, okay, I get it. Because sometimes it's not always on the outline either. Sometimes it's in the screenplay, you know, and they were judging the outline. They're like, okay, now I see what you're saying now. Because when I send them the script, they're like, yeah, this is engaging, I'm going to treat it, I totally get it now. But that was also me sticking to my gut. But normally when everybody in the room is against something, that's when I know that it's special. Francis Ford Coppola said, the things that they want to fire you for when you're a young filmmaker are the things that they give you awards for when you're older. And that's in the back of my mind. So when they were all in agreement, if they were like half liked it, half didn't like it, I would have been more conflicted about whether or not to keep it. But when all of them were like, no, you don't need that. I'm like, no, we're going forward with this. I'm trusting my gut. You guys are wrong on this one. And I proved some of them wrong on that next, when I presented the script.
What has this writing group taught you about outlining?
It's like a combination of being concise and being as detailed as you possibly can. Sometimes I don't have the patience for that because I know I'm going for a feeling, right? So I'll start writing out a scene that doesn't necessarily feed the outline. That's going to be in the script. So I just need to say, on a beach somewhere, whatever, the two characters have a conversation. So some of them are very good and very detail oriented with their outlines, and will continue to do that until they get to the script. Me, since I'm the director, like there's only 3 directors in our group. They're director writers. So for the writers in the group, their outlines are going to be far more detailed. And I have to remind them sometimes, I'm a director. No one's going to direct this script except me. So I don't need to write all that out for myself. And I don't necessarily need to write all that out for an investor. I need them to get the gist of the story. And then hopefully that's enough. I need them to be interested enough to read the screenplay. So I would be more detailed for things I'm not going to shoot. That maybe, but most of the things that I write, I know I'm going to shoot them. So I don't necessarily have to be that. For the group to know where I'm going and who the characters are, what the log line is, what the pitch is, that's what I present. And then all of the great nuances that I want to put into it go into the screenplay.
So if someone said, I love what you've written, and I hate to use the A word, they say it's authentic, but are you willing to then turn it over to them and not be the director? What if they say, sorry, we've already kind of like filled some roles here, but we love the script, we love the story, the voice is original?
Right. I don't know. I've never been in that situation. It depends on how attached I am to the script, but every screenplay I've ever written, I've had a personal attachment to. I've never not written anything that wasn't personal or I had an attachment to it. I've never written something just for fun or just because I thought this would be cool. Like everything that I've written has been personal, everything. So I don't see myself, that's why I don't think I could ever be in a writer's room. You know, I just don't know I don't know that I would want to put myself into someone else's characters on a daily basis. I think that's work. And I'm sure it's great work, but that's not necessarily for me. I need to dictate the story and I need to dictate the characters.
Do you think it's because they mean so much to you, these characters? That you're not just writing just like this
No.
weak character, they mean a lot to you?
Yeah, they don't. If I'm spending time with them, then it's not that they mean so much. They do mean something, but I'm protective of them and I'm selfish with them.
But it sounds like because you're protective.
Yeah,
So,
no,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm invested with the actor because they're communicating that character, you know, and now they're invested in it. Now they're going to protect this story. They're going to protect the character, you know, and that's exciting. That's when I share. Is when we're on day 1 of set. Now I start sharing, you know, the story and the screenplay and the characters with everybody. And hopefully the audience responds.
Right. So it's almost, they're like real people and it's like you don't want to let them go.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely look at them that way. Absolutely.